Right, so guys, as we all know, we have a theme for today's episode of talking about some video game glitches and some general disturbances of the Matrix. And as a homeowner, even houses have their own fair share of glitches. So the glitch that happened to me was I got stuck in the bathroom after I had a shower.
You fucking naughty.
The only so I did. I mean, I somewhat knew this, but most of it I didn't know. So when you've got a door, obviously you've got the door handle. But in the actual door handle, there's like a long bit of metal called, I think my uncle called it a spindle. And when we bought the house, the spindles are only about like a few inches long, which meant that because the door handles themselves are hollow and narrow, or hollow and wide, the spindle could actually slide down into the door handles. So what effectively happened is I shut the door, and because the spindle fell into the outside door handle, I could turn the door handle, but like the locking mechanism wouldn't move.
Yeah.
So I was just trapped in the bathroom. I was like, oh fuck. So I was like stuck in it, but I was like banging on the door. I was like, oh shit, I'm stuck in the bathroom. I was like, fuck, am I going to have to call the fire? Am I actually going to have to call the fire service and say I'm stuck in the bathroom? I was just like, oh my God, this is so bad. But fortunately, I had my phone on me. So I was like, Lacey, can you help me? I'm stuck in the bathroom. So she comes up, but because the spindle fell into the front one, she was able to turn the door handle and it could open from the outside and the door can come in. I was like, oh, for God's sake, I'm so happy that I actually shower listening to music. Because if I didn't, I'd be stuck. And I'm glad that I wasn't home alone when that happened. Yeah.
Here's a random question when it comes to bathrooms, right? So, what does Batman call his bathroom? Does he call it the bathroom, or does he put emphasis on the bathroom? Or does Alfred just look very confused and just goes, "What the fuck's a room?"
You just call it bathroom or shower.
Bathroom.
Right.
So yes, but the thing is, this isn't the first time it's happened. It's happened to me twice. So the first time it happened to me was maybe about a month or two ago. It happened. And my uncle, he came round, and what we did, we stuck some things into the door handles just to try and sort of stop the spindle from slipping to one side of the door handles. But then, sod's law, those things that we stuck into the door handles, they then fell into the door handles. And it happened again. I was just like, oh God, I'm stuck in the bathroom again. So I was like, I had to phone up. I was like, Lacey, can you help me out? So she then opened the door for me. And then my uncle was because he used to work as a carpenter, he had loads of leftover door bits, so he fixed my door for me. But that would be scary. Imagine if you are home alone, or if you are a lone homeowner and that happens to you. I'm just like, what the fuck would you do?
Probably have a birth, to be honest, and wait for help to arrive.
This is how thrilling 2023 is.
There is a old radio drama starring Alan Davis, the comedian.
Oh God, Alan Davis.
They do an episode where one of the characters is trapped in the bathroom, like you. To cut a long story short, by the end of it, when he's finally released, right at the end of the episode, they sort of say, well, what do you want to do now? You're a free man. What do you want to do? And he kind of goes, yeah, I kind of need the toilet.
This is a bit like, is it, what's the thing with Alan Davis, where he's the detective?
Jonathan Creek.
Jonathan Creek, where there's that episode with, I'm forgetting what her name is.
Caroline Quentin?
No, she was in 2 pints of lager and a pack of crisps.
Oh, nice.
The blonde woman. I can't remember. But where they're on a mystery in this house, and people keep dying in the bathroom, and I don't know why. And then she takes a bath, and then Alan Davis's character works out why, and he's trying to get into the bathroom. That was just, there you go. There's another bathroom story. I've got her name is on the tip of my tongue. I literally can't remember what it is, but I'll just be like, oh, it's that person, yeah. Sheridan Smith, that's her name.
Yeah, that literally was gonna be one that I say, because I'm just like, surely if anything, it's gonna be Sheridan Smith.
Yeah, I knew it was on the tip of my tongue. I knew it was her first name was S and her second name was S. I knew. For everyone who's listening, it is 2023.
Yeah, and we've all made a New Year's resolution to not get stuck in the bathroom this year.
But I have fixed it. I have done a hot fix. I've released a patch note to fix my bathroom.
Random 1.1.
Yeah, house version 1.1.
Welcome to the Victory Achieved podcast, a video game podcast. We are back in 2023 today. That didn't work. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm Dan, and I am with Brandon and Chris. Say hello, guys.
Happy New Year, cunts.
Hello, guys.
Happy New Year to everyone. It is
Yeah.
for us. Recording is actually 2022. Spoilers alert, but
Shh, don't disturb the Matrix.
oh well. As Brandon said earlier, we're going to be talking about some bugs and glitches today in the Matrix. But first, over this Christmas break, I poured in like 30 hours into Elden Ring. I can't believe it, and I have now finished Pokemon Scarlet. That is so. That was good fun. Yeah.
So how has your experience been with your recent, over a day that you've invested into Elden Ring?
That is truly my favorite game from 2022.
Spoilers for the last episode.
Well, go back and listen to it. It's a good one. And yeah. Well, we've spoken about Elden Ring to death, so I don't really want to say much more. But I will be completing it. I'm going for the platinum, and I'm having a very good time with it. So yeah.
Good. So how about your time with Pokemon Scarlet? Have you had any problems with it at all? No?
Unlike you two, I said this before. Unlike you two, because you've been very vocal on our chat, it's been mostly smooth sailing. I'm not going to say I've had nothing. I've had like a few. I've not had a glitch. I said this before, but I've not had a glitch where I've like fell through the world at all. My character has never fallen through the world. I've never had any problems. Like I was I told my mate just before Christmas, and I was giving him and his son their Christmas presents, and because he's been playing Pokemon Scarlet as well, and we were talking about that, and he was like, "Oh, I had this glitch where I this happened, and I couldn't do this, and I had to I couldn't even fly out. I had to do this. I had to turn my game off. I had to restart." And I was like, it's been like I've had nothing like that. The worst is it's like the camera angle. That's about the worst thing I've had. Otherwise, it's been fine.
Yeah, I've had an awful time with the camera angles in Pokemon Violet. I don't know why, but I don't know how they've made it where, aesthetically it looks quite nice, but it just feels really janky to me, and it makes it feel really uncomfortable. Like if I'm trying to go through a door frame and all of a sudden I'm getting a face view of the door, I'm just like, I can't move, I'm stuck, I'm looking at the door. Or I finished a Pokemon battle and all of a sudden I just see the center of the earth. I'm just like, like there's just so much that goes on me. Like, I'm still early days into it, but the camera in it is awful.
I'm gonna
really
be honest.
is.
I am on this topic of Pokemon. I actually did redo my tier list for all the Pokemon games, and you know what? I think if the majority of people didn't have like the bugs and glitches, I literally think Pokemon Scarlet and Violet would be like one of the best Pokemon games. For me, it is. Because I've had like hardly anything, but I think it's probably like one of the best Pokemon games in absolute years for what it's done for the series. I think like some of the last ones I've had some good things, but then a lot bad with it as well. But
Compared to Pokemon Arceus, which came out earlier this year, well, last year, I'd say it's a massive step back, just because of how polished Arceus was and how snappy the gameplay was. So I can't agree with you there. I think Arceus was a better game.
I've not completed Arceus, so I might agree with you once I've completed it. So far with Arceus, I think I put both like in like quite high for Pokemon games, to be fair. But there's certain things with Arceus that I'm a bit unsure about, but I guess I'll find out by the time I've completed it. I don't know. I think maybe it's because it is a completely different game or a different type of Pokemon game that I shouldn't assume certain things because it's a different Pokemon game, and I think that might be the problem. Is I'm assuming it's like a normal mainline Pokemon game. So I feel like, if I do this move on this Pokemon and it's at this level, it should do this. But then it's like, no, it's a different Pokemon game, so that's not going to happen.
No, I was just thinking more in the exploration aspect, like just being able to like go from A to B on the map, and there's like no pop-in, there's no glitches, there's nothing, everything's smooth. Whereas Pokemon Violet and Scarlet do not. There's graphical issues everywhere.
This is the thing.
I had so many on mine.
I know, this is the problem. Like, I feel like I'm giving Scarlet and Violet so much, I'm giving it like a little bit of a pass because I've had such a, for the most part, a smooth run, and you two have just not. And it's like, I don't know, for me, it's quite difficult to understand. Like, not understand, but like, I think I give it, I don't know, I think I give it, what I'm trying to think of the word, a benefit of the doubt because I've had such a smooth run of the game compared to you two, and I don't know,
Yeah, I get what you mean. Because like a lot of people, they'll have games where they say, "Oh yeah, this is like," a lot of people say like, Cyberpunk was a fantastic game, but the vast majority of people did have those technical glitches on it, and it sort of ruined their experience. Whereas some people, they really like it when games are janky, and they think, "Oh god, this is like the most amazing thing ever." Like if you look at GTA 4, Halo, stuff like that, there's lots of jankiness to it, but people just adored that jankiness.
I think it depends on what kind of jank you're talking. If it's jank that's sort of beneficial and maybe you'll get a laugh out of it here and there, then it's not too bad. But I think we'll talk about that a little bit later. For now, though, shall we talk about some newer stuff that's actually occurred? So what's here, what's hip, what's happening?
I guess.
Well, I've got something which I really want to talk about. It took me by absolute surprise in how good it is.
Which is?
I've recently picked up a board game, and it's not something which we necessarily talk about. We speak about like video games, TV shows, anime, music, and everything, but we don't really talk about, board games. And during my Christmas adventures, I saw the Disney Villainous board game card game. So it's by a company called Ravensburger. And essentially what it is, you have your Disney villains. Like I think in the default game, you've got 6 villains. And then you get this like a playing map with like 4 locations. And on each 4 locations, you've got like 4 different actions you can do per location.
Oh, I just realised what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, honestly, it's so fun. So like, and the whole aim of it is to basically complete your villain's mission. So on certain tiles, you might have, collect 1 power token. You can use a card. You can cast something onto your opponent, or you can, move an item on your field. And essentially, each villain has got their unique criteria for completion. So, like Prince John from Robin Hood, his win criteria is that you need to accumulate 20 power, and you can only access power by like moving tiles and collecting power, basically not spending it. The Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland is you have to collect all 4 wickets and turn them into soldiers, which I think, is so cool. Or if you look at, there's just so many. Or Captain Hook defeat Peter Pan on the Jolly Roger, and you have to go through like these whole steps to try and actually like actualize what you're doing. So I got this for Lacey on Christmas, and I think it's so fun. Even though obviously it's limited to you've only got 6 characters, but similar to Cards Against Humanity, they offer like expansions of it. And I went out today, Super Game Shack, shout out to them. They were doing like the post Christmas sales, and I went over and I managed to pick up one of the expansions of Villainous for like £20. I was like, it's cheaper there than what it is like anywhere. Like it's cheaper than Amazon, cheaper than Argos. It was just so good. We're gonna be playing that, and technically as of the time recording, it's going to be New Year's. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to playing that. It's so good to play like with family, friends. You can make it so you really sort of pin against each other. So you can play with up to 6 people, and you could just make it just hell for people. It's so fun. Honestly, if you're like an absolute like Disney buff, or if you're just a fan of like quirky board games, I highly recommend the Disney Villainous board and card game. Is so fun.
I remember going to Geek Retreat once, and a few of my friends played it. It seemed interesting. I think because I was leaving early, I didn't play it, but it seemed quite interesting.
It is. It's just so quirky. Like all of your cards, so you can use allies to defeat your enemies. So when I say you can action on your enemies, so like, what you can do is what's called a fate. So if you land on a fate tile, you can then you can then basically choose an action to happen on your opponent. So you might get it so you're bringing in a hero. So basically, as you're playing the villains, you've got to beat the heroes. So say, for example, if I'm playing as Ursula from The Little Mermaid, all of a sudden I might have like Neptune, who I've got to defeat. And I'm just like, okay, one of my win conditions is to beat Neptune, get the trident and go. So I'm like, okay, that's brilliant. I've now got to deal with Neptune or Poseidon. Is it Poseidon? I can't remember. Stephen Neptune or Poseidon? I can't remember. But yeah, it's just so good. So good.
Neptune, it's King Neptune, ain't it?
Yeah, I was thinking, I was like 90% certain it was Neptune.
Not that
I was thinking of Poseidon.
I'm not the biggest fan of The Little Mermaid, but I'm pretty sure it's King Neptune. If my Kingdom Heart knowledge serves me well, because I've played through The Little Mermaid recently on Kingdom Hearts than actually watching it. I don't think I've watched it since the last time I watched it was before I hit double digits. So there you go.
Well, yeah. I'm afraid to tell you it's King Triton.
Well, we
so there we go. We're completely off.
Yeah.
I've also recently been playing Kingdom Hearts.
Well, then there you go. You got even better knowledge. Yeah, I think the when my mates played it, I think someone was Scar. There was Ursula. There was Maleficent.
Yes, I played that one.
I can't remember the last character.
Well, Scar should win the board game every time because you should be prepared.
Yes. Well,
Yeah, on the default game, you've got Maleficent, Ursula, Hook, Prince John. You've got the guy from Aladdin,
Jafar.
and yeah, you've got.
But you remember Prince John's name, but not Jafar's.
Oh, mate, I love Robin Hood. I grew up with that.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Oh shit, I can't remember the other one. Oh, Queen of Hearts. Yeah. But either way, so you get 6 of the default games, and each of the expansions will bring in 3 additional characters, and it's just one of those games where if you just expand it like to get everything, and if you've got like a family who really like enjoy Disney, I think it's a fantastic thing to play like during New Year's, Christmas, birthdays, or just a general board game to play. It's so fun.
Nice.
I can't help but think that Return of Jafar is just a really good subtitle to put onto anything. Like Borderlands 2, The Return of Jafar, Breath of the Wild, Return of Jafar.
Because I've not really watched a lot of the Disney things, because each of the locations are actually named from the Disney films.
Yeah.
And one of the ones on Jafar's board, I just can't say this word, so I just kept changing how it's pronounced every time. So I don't care. I can't do it.
Agrabah.
I
think some say if you say Agrabah in the mirror 5 times, and Prince Ali, Fabulous He comes and pays you a visit.
Yes, that's what I've been up to. It's Pokemon Violet and Villainous. That's all I played, and I've been very happy about it.
There is a Pokemon Violet question I do have to ask you,
Go on,
because I
then.
did ask in the chat. I don't think you meant this. You didn't answer. What's your starter?
I chose the cat.
That's the wrong one.
Why is it the wrong one?
Because Quaxley exists.
No, the fire starter, the best boy.
The reason, okay, so bear with me. The reason why I chose that one is because as I go through the starters, I tend to have like a favorite from each generation. So I'm just literally going to open up Google and I'm just going to basically give you my
Fire is the only one
explanations.
that looks good in all 3 stages. The other 2 look shit.
Yeah, but you just chose like an obese croc.
Because he's fucking cool.
Yeah, but he's tubby.
Don't you diss my croc.
Yeah, but
Wait,
Quaxley's
I see people
dog.
wearing crocs.
I still what's so funny is I got the bug that looks like a mech suit right at the start of the game, and our mate Brandon, he was like, get rid of that bug, and I carried it through the entire game. And last night he beat the game, and the mon he couldn't beat, my bug destroyed him. And I literally went, yeah, my bug one shot this mon, and he was like, fuck you and your bug. And I was like, no. It was funny. I was like, it was the fact that constantly he was like, I hate your bug. And I was like, nope, I'm never getting rid of my bug. Anyway.
Yeah, but the main reason I chose grass is because I feel like of all the different generations, I feel like grass tends to get the least amount of love. So like from Gen 1, I was like Charmander fanboy. Gen 2, I really liked Cyndaquil. Gen 3 was Mudkip because he was just so busted. Gen 4, I think I did like Piplup. But I also liked Infernape, but Turtwig just didn't do anything for me. Then I think then it was like the first of the grass types which I really liked was Snivy, even though it was a very basic thing. It was the first one which I started to like. Then it was either Froakie or Fennekin, and then you get to I did like Rowlet because a grass ghost was quite an interesting prospect to me. Then I just really like Scorbunny, and then it's just the cat. It's just like the cat is like, what's there not to like about the cat? Sprigatito is so cute.
It is, and then it
Quaxly's
evolves.
just got a pompadour.
The first evolved form is so cute, and then it evolves, and then I want to see the back of it.
Yeah, I'm going into this completely blind, so I'm thankful I've got nothing to lose here.
I don't like its second or third form, and the duck. I did not like its final form at all. I had to fight
I'm going
it.
to look now. I'm hoping you're not tarnishing my eyes here, because if you have, I'm not going to be happy.
All right, I thought you liked the
That
evolved.
doesn't look bad at all.
I know people who like it anyway. It's the thing. We've all got personal opinions,
Hang on a minute. What the fuck have I just... Rule 34 is a bad place to be.
What are you doing? The thing is, with you, I don't even know if you're being truthful or not.
Oh, why do I always end up on the dark side? Yeah, let's just quickly close that before...
Oh my.
Oh, boy.
Well, you said you played a board game. Well, what about a film that's kind of based on a board game, Chris?
Jumanji.
Well, there's that as well, but Clue, Glass Onion, Chris.
Well, good. We're not talking about Violet again. Good. Right. Right. So, it's not based on Clue at all. In fact, there's a line in the film that Daniel Craig says saying he fucking hates Clue.
Well, the first one was nice.
No, it wasn't. Not at all.
Well, that's what everyone said it was. I've not even
Bloody
seen
ain't. No, it's not. The film Clue is based on Clue, the old Tim Curry film. This is not in any way.
Maybe I have my information wrong.
You do, very. Oh, never mind. Yeah, so the new Glass Onion film dropped on Netflix, and handily, so did Knives Out. So if you've not seen both films, now you can. So Glass Onion is the follow-up to Knives Out, oddly enough. And even the director said he wasn't happy that Knives Out is in the title. He didn't want that. Well, like, sort of studio executives kind of made him because he thought people wouldn't watch it with the title like Glass Onion. It's one of those putting brand recognition things on it. Deals. Anywho, give it a watch. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I watched it Christmas Day with the folks, and I sort of kind of knew what to expect, having seen the first one, a whole murder mystery thing. And yep, that's what you get, and it's pretty good. And it's really hard to talk about without giving spoilers in any way, shape, or form. That's the hard thing about talking about murder mystery things. What I can say is it's very well acted. It's got Dave Bautista in, it's got Kate Hudson, Edward Norton, and Daniel Craig, of course. All of them do a sublime job. Everyone's great in it. It's pretty funny. Made me laugh out loud a few times. There's a couple of drama moments that I won't quite say you tug at the heartstrings, but you feel for one or two of the characters. And then there's other characters that you just don't like, but that's kind of the idea. So what it essentially boils down to is these people who don't seem linked in any way at first get sent like a sort of mystery box, and essentially it boils down to be an invite to go to a private island which has a big glass dome, i.e. glass onion. It's very on the nose, is that metaphor, but it does have another meaning, and the whole meaning is pretty hard to talk about without thinking of Shrek and onions.
Are they all ogres?
Yes, that's the twist. I thought it'd be pretty obvious with Dave Bautista being in it, but nobody saw that coming apparently. No, I do really highly recommend this film though. Obviously, I'd say watch Knives Out first. Don't jump into this straight away, but I don't think there's any harm in not doing so. I don't think there's anything like real continuity wise off the top of my head. Obviously you'll have a like better understanding as to like Daniel Craig's character, but it's kind of played like a completely separate mystery, so I don't think there's any problems with you jumping straight in if you need to. It's just like watching an episode of Poirot or something like that, where you can just watch any one sort of out of order and you'll be fine. But yeah, so it's like 2.5 hours long. It seems like a long time, but it just flew by when I watched it. There's enough going on and enough scenarios that it never drags or feels boring. And again, it's one of those films where I kind of want to watch it again, having know what I know now to like pick up on all the details, which I did with Knives Out, and it did make it a better film. And I thought it was good in the first place. So yeah, Glass Onion, recommend. Go check it out if you're not already.
Yeah, when you're saying about it being like a standalone thing, I think I remember reading that Ryan Johnson said he wanted it to be a bit like as if Knives Out and Glass Onion are two books, for example, and it's like a bit like Sherlock Holmes, where it's like, right, I want to read The Hound of the Baskervilles. All right, there's that adventure for Sherlock Holmes. Now I want to read The Speckled Band. There's that adventure featuring there's that Sherlock Holmes adventure. I think he wanted Knives Out and Glass Onion to feel like that.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to Sherlock Holmes, like I know nowadays there's like a huge emphasis on like his nemesis being Moriarty, but he's only in like 2 books.
Yeah,
that's it. He's never like a huge nemesis or anything. I think he's in like the very last one as sort of like Holmes' like last case.
Yeah,
if I'm
yes,
correct on that.
I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, it's like the last something. I can't remember. Yeah, he's in the last that one.
Yeah, because Arthur Conan Doyle kind of like wrote that last one as like his swan song because it's implied he has died. I don't think that was ever officially continued on. I may be completely wrong on that.
No, you were. That's right. Because the second Sherlock Holmes film with Robert Downey Jr., that's basically kind of doing the same thing. But then they obviously tease it that he's still alive, and then it's like not tease it. They show he's still alive, and it's like, oh look, there's might be a third. But then that's been in production or whatever for years, so that's probably not happening. But
no, I wouldn't have thought so.
But no, you're completely correct. Like the last last one with Moriarty is meant to be his last case.
Yeah, even Disney know this because with Basil the Great Mouse Detective, the villain wasn't Moriarty in that. That's a good film, isn't it? You're talking about Disney stuff. Is Rattigan in your board game?
Yes, I bought the one today that has Rattigan in it.
Oh, sweet.
I've not even seen that film.
Neither have I. And Lacey's been going on saying, "Oh, you've not seen Basil the Mouse Detective?" I'm like, "No, the only thing Basil related I've seen is Basil Brush."
Or Basil from Fawlty Towers.
I was about to say literally Fawlty Towers. I literally went for a meal today with my family, and my mum goes, "Oh, Basil Fawlty from Fawlty Towers." I'm like, "Oh, there you go." even brought up at the dinner table.
Oh, Faulty Towers is fantastic. Like,
Oh yeah.
all right, very very slight tangent. If you haven't, did you say you've not seen Faulty Towers?
Nope.
And you really need to fix that. I mean, there's only 12 episodes, and they've been on record saying they could have done more, but they would not be anywhere near as good. So they just decided to do 12, and that's it.
Oh.
But because the writing was like superb and top tier, that they didn't think they could do any better. So they generally stopped. And this is like really good comedians in their heyday. Like when Python's still popular and that. So yeah, if they're saying they couldn't do any better, I mean, I just wish so many more comedies and shows would do that. Just like throw their hands up and like admit, yeah, we're good, we're done. We've done 12 episodes. We don't need any more. We're finished.
Yeah,
that's it.
Some companies need to know when to pull the plug.
They really do. And they did. But yeah, please watch it. I admittedly some stuff doesn't hold up too well because of like let's just call it dated humor.
Right, I love dated humor.
But 99% of it's absolutely fine. Holds up great. Still very, very funny. I still quote it every now and again, especially on streams. And I think pretty much anyone who's ever seen it at some point has quoted it, even without realizing it. It's just like, it's one of those shows like The Simpsons where you just like get one or two lines just like thrown in your vocabulary without your say so.
You said about the last Sherlock story is called The Final Problem. That's what it's called.
Okay, yeah. I'd say his death is pretty fine.
But all in all, you enjoyed Glass Onion, because that's what we're actually talking about.
Yeah. yeah, it did. Yeah, it does. But it's quite interesting though, like how many different good mystery shows are out there, and it is another one because this actor is no longer with us, and he passed not too recently. Robbie Coltrane.
Yes.
The series Cracker. If you've never seen that, that's very good.
No, I haven't.
Highly recommend it. So it's like I think it's 90s. Yeah, it's 90s, where he's like a hard-boiled detective, but he's a right bastard. But there's a couple of things like there's a few episodes where there's like no real continuity, like bar a few bits, but then as it goes on, the stakes do get higher. And again, it's a series where it doesn't outstay its welcome. I can't think of the top of my head, but I think there's only like 12, 14 episodes, so not massively long.
Yeah, I've not really seen much Robbie Coltrane stuff. Like, I think it's only really the 007 films and the Harry Potter films and the odd other stuff. So
yeah, it had a lot of bit parts in comedies like Blackadder and comic strip as well, isn't it?
Who was he in Blackadder?
He was Dr. Samuel Johnson, guy who writes the dictionary, Blackadder 3.
Oh, I can't remember Blackadder 3 that well. I need to give the whole of Blackadder a rewatch. 3 is the one I remember the least, except for the turnip episode. Except for that episode, I hardly remember anything of the third one.
Third one's my favourite series. In fact, the one with Robbie Coltrane in Ink and Inkability is my favourite episode.
I definitely need to give the whole of that a rewatch.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely my episode, and there's no mystery about that whatsoever.
I definitely want to give both Glass Onion and Knives Out a watch. I was going to do it the other day, and then, well, you know, I said I put 30 hours into Elden Ring. Well, there you go. There's that answer. So, yep. But I do plan to give both of those films a watch. Even if it is Rian Johnson as the director, but, you know, I wasn't a big fan of The Last Jedi. I'll just put it at that.
Oh, is that what you directed as well? I didn't...
Yeah, and he also directed a few Breaking Bad episodes, like the Fly, that is very polarizing.
No. It's polarizing, but that won an award.
I didn't mind it, but I know
I liked it.
I know some people hate it.
Yeah, because that whole episode has got a very different tone to like the rest of the series.
Yeah,
and it's also like right smack bang in the middle of the entire series, but it's after like a very, very heavy episode, so it's kind of like you needed like that one episode buffer to just sort of relieve the tension, especially if you've been watching them back to back.
Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, I was gonna say it does like serve its purpose for what it needs to do. I suppose really you could skip that episode and not really miss anything, but why would you want to skip any Breaking Bad is the question.
That is true. Yes. Do we want to get into the main meat of our episode, or our main topic, or do we have...
There is one more thing.
Oh yeah, there is. Of course there is.
Yeah. So going on to games, I've played, but I haven't finished the new Justin Roiland game, the High on Life, which you'll be delighted to know, and as a catchphrase, it's on Game Pass. Yes, I've downloaded it. I've not put a huge amount of time into it, because I've been very stretched thin. I think like having time off work will like give me more free time, but apparently no. I just found new ways to take my time up with different things. But anywho, yeah, High on Life, played it for a bit, and it's a little bit different to what I anticipated. I didn't really know what to expect going in. What I will say though is I'm not the biggest Rick and Morty fan out there, and I do find Justin Roiland's voice like grates on me a little bit, because he does the same voice, like everything. That Morty voice is like the same. I know he's done like another game as well, about the universe, which is like a VR game, and it's the same voice again. Guy's got like one voice. Please do something else. And yeah, it's very forefront in High on Life because your guns talk to you, and the first gun you get is Justin Roiland's voice. So it's like, oh, it's Morty again. Okay. Yeah. If I had to compare this game to anything, at least to the small amount of time I've had with it, I suppose the level design is kind of a bit like Borderlands, like a little bit sandboxy. But if you just like stripped out all the weapons and just had a handful like that you upgrade across the game, I say that because the levels are a little bit sandboxy. There is like just main missions, just go here, do that. But if you like look off the beaten paths, there's essentially chests you can find with currency in, and you can just buy upgrades with it. So you're rewarded for exploration. The gunplay is pretty good. There's a bit of traversal. There's a sort of like whip mechanic, so you can like swing from ledge to ledge, which has worked fine. And yeah, so far what I've really played, I suppose if there is one word I could say to sum it up, is it's fine. I need to finish it, but I haven't like felt like the need to sort of come back to it straight away. It's like, yeah, I played it for a bit and it was fine, but I'm not sort of like, yeah, I can't wait till I get home and whack it back on again. It's like, yeah, I'll get around to it when I get around to it again. It's yeah. I know the writing sort of divides people as well, to whether you might find it funny or whether it just really winds you up, because there's a lot of dialogue on. But thankfully, it does give you the option to like turn the chatter down, because like your guns talk to you all the time, right? And so do the enemies. But there's also a lot of unskippable dialogue like during cutscenes, as you'd expect. But already there's been like one character I've bumped into. I'm just like, please shut the fuck up. I don't know if it's meant to be played up for a joke or not. It's that kind of humour. But yeah, I know I'm not the only one that I know that's played this who's thought the same. It's like, can I please just get from A to B without everyone talking all the time? Please shut the hell up. I feel it might be one of those that's really awkward to stream, because if I'm trying to like talk and give commentary over the game, it will be hard to get a word in edgeways because it just never shut the hell up. But yeah, as I say, it's free on Game Pass, so download it, see what you think. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest giving a ton of money at it, but hey, if you like Rick and Morty, maybe you'll think differently. But I'm also informed it's not incredibly long either. You can finish it in like 8 hours. We'll see how we go. I will try and finish it at some point. But yeah, it's fine.
I have heard a different negative about the game.
Cheers.
And since I've heard it, it's made me never want to touch the game. You probably, I don't know what your opinion on it is, but the game uses a lot of AI generated art and voices.
I can't say I've noticed, but as I say, I'm not that far in.
So, and I just, like, I think AI generated like art and things like that, I think there is a use for it in the world, but the way it's being used at the moment isn't good. And it's like taking people who are putting a lot of the hard work into art and then getting nothing to just have a computer go, yep, here you go, here's some art. It's like, well, said person's put in who knows how many hours on a lovely art piece. Like I went to Comic-Con and bought some really, really, really nice prints. I've even bought more since from like the said artist, and I can tell they put in so much work into those prints there. And just having an AI do the same thing, doesn't feel the same, just doesn't feel right. And there's a lot of that in High on Life, of just AI. A lot of the things on walls are just AI art.
No, I would not have known that if you didn't mention it. Yeah, that's a bit of a hot topic in a minute, isn't it? It's like the new NFTs now.
Yeah.
AI art. I kind of get AI art as a sort of gimmick. Like, have you seen like the Dali Mini thing where you can just like type in 2 prompts and it just comes up with something? Like,
yeah.
As a novelty, yeah, but I wouldn't want to like pay for that, anything like that. And yeah, anything that like takes away work from really hardworking artists does suck.
It's like, I think I saw a meme actually the other day on like art as well, where it was basically like had 2 people who do art, and it was like one like a struggling artist creating art on one side, and then it had on the other side it was just the hentai porn artist just raking in the money, and even that is like ridiculous. That's the thing. It's like, oh, you put in all this hard work to create some fantastic artwork, but then someone else is just basically just, here's a hot anime girl, or here's this celebrity that I've done, here you go. It's like do you know Dan Mumford? You've seen his artwork?
No.
It's absolutely incredible. He does a whole load of video game artwork. Probably like type it in and have a look at his artwork. I think it's Dan Mumford. I think that's right, or have I might be getting his surname wrong, but it is definitely Dan something.
There's Dan Mumford Draws.
Yes, Dan Mumford Draws. Like, check out his Dan Mumford. Like, check out
That
his
Metroid one looks amazing.
Yeah, you see what I mean? You got like his artwork is incredible, but then the amount of time I'd assume he's putting in to do that is it's incredible. But then you're gonna have other people who are doing something completely different and are gonna get more. I don't know. This is like something with artists. This is maybe not our thing, but then you have all of that, and then you just have AI art that just goes, yeah, we can do all of that, and sell it for free, and it's like, well, it's not, it just doesn't feel...
It doesn't feel ethical, is what you're trying to say.
That's the word. I was like, I don't want to say, it doesn't feel right. That's not... Yes, but that's not the word I want to use. Yes, ethical. Thank you. I'm glad there
I can understand what you mean. It's just like, you want to support the creators, but there's just like, it's when you go to the shops and all of a sudden all the cashiers have been replaced by self-checkouts. You're just like, yeah, it's faster and, overall cheaper, but it's just like, but the dark side of it is that's a lot of people have probably just lost a job.
Maybe. I don't know. The thing is, with like cashiers, the amount of time they've had a whole load of cashiers, and then just like half of them are being ran anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, well, then what was the point of having all those cashiers in the first place if you're only going to run half of them? And it's not like it's not busy. No, it is busy. But then you got queues that are going up, and it's like, well, if you had all the different cashiers filled, you'll probably reduce it. This is going into a completely different topic than from High on Life. Oh my gosh.
I've got to have my 2 cents here, because as someone that works with automated tills, they're really good. I really like my automated tills. My self-checkouts. They free me up because I don't have to like run and go to the till and deal with someone. I can decide, right, so somebody else is on the tills. I don't have to worry about supervising them because they've got 2 other tills open, so I can just get on with my job now. So yeah, for me, they're a godsend. So they haven't taken anyone's job. There's plenty more than them.
I like self-service tills because I get to like power through it, and I hate it when. And I had it today when I was in Boots. I was behind people who were just slow, trying to buy their stuff, and I'm like, why is it taking this long? Why? My family and I went into Boots to buy some stuff, and I was going to the self-service, and I was like, right, I've got £10 in notes, all right, I'm going to spend that because what I'm buying is £9. I don't need to use my card. I can use this £10 note, get rid of it. And there were 2 cashiers that had to use cash as well as card, and both people were taking ages. The first one finished, so I went on. The other one, they started before I was there. I bought my stuff. By the time my mum and sister were buying stuff, they hadn't even finished. And my mum and sister finished before they did. Why did they take that long? It's
a lot of people just can't work out how to use self-serve. It just phases them. Trust me.
It's not difficult. The only difficult thing is when you put a light object and it doesn't recognise it, and it pisses me off.
Yes, and when they crash, that's a bit of a pain because our ones take ages to reboot. And I tell you what, if they crash, chances are it's because of a glitch.
We are high on life today. This is riveting things that we're talking about on the first episode of 2023.
Repeating back the layers like an onion.
Yeah. It all come full circle like an Elden Ring. Like, oh, for fuck's sake, shut up about that game.
Moving on.
Blame you. It is a good game.
Anyway,
so
glitches.
Let's start off 2023 right by talking about things that are broken and don't work half the time, just like 2022 was. I'm sure there's a metaphor there.
Very broken.
It certainly was, just like the years prior as well. All of them, to be precise. But yes, so we were obviously talking about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and this kicked off a little discussion between us a little while back, and also with my chat from when I was playing it. because of how broken the games are, like how many visual glitches are in it. It got us thinking, what are some of the best and worst glitches out there? Which ones are really iconic? Which ones have we had that impact us as gamers throughout the years? And I think it's time we talk about some. So I guess who wants to start?
I mean, should we just start with just the burning one in the ring that we've both put on our list, and well, all of us are probably very sort of attached to this one. Way back in Pokemon Yellow, Red, and Blue, Missing No.
Missing
Game breaking glitch, but well, I say game breaking because it could corrupt the game file, but that is just so iconic.
It certainly is. So, to anyone who doesn't know what Missing No is, in the original versions of Pokemon, that being Red, Yellow, and Blue, and I think Green as well, probably. I don't know. I'm assuming so. There was a random Pokemon you could bump into off the coast of Cinnabar Island if you met certain criteria, called Missing No. And what Missing No is the leftover data in the game that sort of rolls into one. Because how the game fills up memory, it generally works up, well, a lot of old games, pretty much most of them, work on like a system of 256 as a numerical value, and anything more than that do loop back over to one again. When it comes up to the Pokemon fill up certain blocks, but there's like 15 blocks of like data left over, shall we say. And in order to make up the 15 missing bits, it's basically a compilation of different Pokemon all sort of mushed together. And that's how you get Missing No. It's like looking for data that isn't there. So it's just made this horrific Frankenstein thing, which is generally meant to be like it's sort of like, if you catch it, it's like a sort of normal flying type, and it's got like the sort of move set of like Moltres, because it's got like Fire, Spin, and Sky Attack, I believe. But a good thing with Missing No is if you catch it, and again, if you put a few strings, you can duplicate your items up to the magic number 256.
Yes, that's what I mean. Like in terms of game breaking, like getting infinite Master Balls and infinite rare candies.
Yep. You use them all until you've only got like 2 left in your inventory, and just do it again.
Yep.
It's fantastic. Master Ball on a Magikarp, yeah. And I don't know anyone that didn't do it. I don't know anyone that didn't do this, so I'm sure everyone's tried it at some point. Yeah, so you could do that. Just make your whole team level 100 before you go and fight your mates on Pokemon Stadium, which I'm not saying we did, but we totally did. Yeah, and also Missing No, infamously, if you do catch it and put it into your box, can completely corrupt your save data and completely break it if you're very unlucky. So don't do that. Some people did, and it was fine, but it's a big risk to take. It's like your entire cart being corrupted.
I think that's probably how I've broken a couple, was just from Missing No.
Let me guess. Did you break 250? Did you break 256 cartridges?
No, I broke 2.
Oh, you got many more attempts.
What?
You got many more attempts to sack it.
Well, no, because it's just one of those things where it's just like I didn't put 2 and 2 together. It's just like, for some reason, every time I find Missing No, my game breaks.
Dan, have you tried Missing No as well?
Sorry about that. I'm just dying.
Come on, it's only been, 67 minutes?
I had a really bad cough. So while you're talking about Missing No, I muted my mic and died in the corner of my room, coughing.
At least you did it quietly.
Yeah, we did notice.
You didn't notice.
I noticed the mic was on mute.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll say, iconic. We all deal with Missing No at one point. Get all those Master Balls or rare candies, because that was at the time we were like, yeah, I'll just rare candy my Pokemon up to level 100. Yeah, it'll be really strong, and then you realise, actually, if you train your Pokemon from 1 to 100 without rare candies, it's actually stronger than if you do it with rare candies. And then I kind of stopped using rare candies. But now, these days with Pokemon, it doesn't really matter because it's a bit different. But
I know, that's one thing I'm not a fan of like nowadays, just how easy the Pokemon games are. Like, by default, you cost an EXP or stuff, but, that's the story for another day.
Yeah. No, I remember I had a fond memory of getting like a level 200 Voltorb or Electrode at one point. I was like, what the hell is this level? I think I had one where it was level 128, and then I had like a level 200 one. But I think like once you like level it up, it goes back to like the level it should be, or level 100 or something like that.
Okay, I don't recall that happening. Mine always seemed to peak at level 100 and that was it. Just couldn't use rare candies anymore.
Must be one of Dan's broken game cartridges.
This was on like the Missing No thing, where you could get like higher level Pokemon than level 100.
Yeah, I was going to say, like,
mine always
we've
got
done
capped
that.
at 100.
Yeah, mine always got close to 100. I think everyone's did.
No,
Because we'd have broke that on Pokemon Stadium. We could have done that.
no, I remember seeing level 128. I think I had one at level 200.
I know Missing No can sometimes be caught straight as level 128 or 146. I've seen a couple numbers going around there.
Well, there you go. There's something that you've not encountered before.
Definitely not. Well,
I just find
what
it
can I
really
say?
funny, like problems with just game programming and stuff can just result in these just absolute monsters in games. It's so awesome.
Oh, you want to hear about a monster in a game? I'll give you a monster in the game.
Is this Assassin's Creed?
No,
God.
a literal tyrant. We're talking Gandhi.
Oh, yeah.
Gandhi.
Warmonger Gandhi.
Yes, Warmonger Gandhi. So if you don't know what this is, so in a very old strategy game, Civilization, the first one, you basically have people who you can like choose to like be your leader for like your civilization, and they all have like different traits, and some will be like more aggressive than others. And one of the people you can choose is Gandhi. Gandhi, of course, being a complete pacifist as ever. But there is a bug in Civilization where his passive stat is so low, again due to a programming glitch. It's so low, it like loops back around again to like -1, which causes him to go completely insane and incredibly aggressive. Gandhi is a monster and must be stopped.
One day Gandhi will be so nice he'll be like, I will destroy your whole civilization.
Yeah, Gandhi will nuke everything given half a chance. I know he was portrayed as like really calm and pacifist, especially like in films with like Ben Kingsley, but man, that wasn't accurate, not according to Civilization. Good lord. If Gandhi would have his way, he'd have AI art take over everything. He's that evil and aggressive.
Sorry, bro.
What have you just sent me, Dan?
I'm just sending you memes.
Oh, is that Sakimi art? Never mind.
Like I remember playing I remember this glitch that I didn't know why I had this glitch for a long time, but I think I've told you. I think I've said about the story about my 18th birthday where I bought an 18 game. I think I've said that on the podcast, so I'll say it again. But on my 18th birthday, I wanted to buy an 18 rated game, so I went out and bought Fallout New Vegas. And
very aged.
so this copy I actually bought had a bug in it, and it took me years to realise exactly what it was and how to fix it. So my copy of the game had this weird bug, where there was a section on the map. It was quite a central bit, and there were quite a lot of quests related to it. I think like the main base was part of this section of the map, where if you went into this any point of this section of the map, the game would freeze. And it took me, I didn't know why this happened. I don't know why I'm going into this area and it's freezing. I looked online and there was, I don't believe there was anyone that said, it freezes here. And I somehow managed to beat the game and got, yeah. And then, I don't know, I think I then sold the game. Yeah, I think I sold the game. And then I rebought it. And suddenly, I think I could go to this area. I still have my saves data, but I could go to this area. And I realised what had happened was, oh wait, I should clarify, the copy of Fallout New Vegas I bought originally was the complete edition with all the DLC. So, and it was because of the DLC. So one of the DLCs on the disc was corrupt, and because of that, it wouldn't allow me to go into this one area of the map. So I had to delete that DLC and then buy it off the store, and then it fixed my entire game. So that copy, wherever it is, because I don't own it anymore. Also, I still got the game, but I don't own the actual physical copy I bought. One of the DLCs is buggy and doesn't allow you going into this big section of the map. And it was really frustrating because I was like, oh, I want to do all these quests that give me a whole load of XP, and then I'll just walk in, freeze, and I was like, oh my gosh.
I had a similar experience on oh, sorry, do you want to go first, Chris?
I was going to say it's really hard to talk about glitches and bugs without bringing up Bethesda, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're riddled with them.
Oh Christ! Every single one has got so many issues with it. Oh, another one from Fallout New Vegas, just off the top of my head. The character creator right at the start, the Doc Mitchell.
Yep.
Like, if you just start the game, his head just rotates without you doing anything. It just happens.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that one.
I've never had that problem, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I've had a couple games where I thought, is it just my game just being a bit awkward? And the first time I experienced it, was Digimon World 1, a game which I absolutely adore to bits. But there's a particular part on my Digimon World 1 where I go to this area called the Grey Lord's Mansion, which is where you fight Myotismon, Skull Greymon, and people and Digimon like that. But my game would always crash when I get into that building, and it just would not stop. And it just made it to a point where I couldn't complete the game because, you know, there was Digimon there which I had to recruit, and I was just like, I'm fucking stuck. It's just absolutely game breaking. And then, you know, had to use the PS emulator, and then it worked fine. I was like, oh my god, this is the first time I'm actually able to get past this, purely because it's just my version of the game is busted. And then also there's just Spyro Enter the Dragonfly, which the whole game is just busted.
Oh wait, no,
What?
Carry on.
What? I was gonna say, because then it's just all Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. Because the first one I bought back when I was, I think I won like £50 on a slot machine with my dad. I was like, yeah, so I went out and bought Dragon Quest 8 and Spyro Enter the Dragonfly, and I tried playing Spyro Enter the Dragonfly, and it just felt really janky. So I thought, oh, it doesn't play the same as like Spyro Year of the Dragon and Spyro Gateway to Glimmer. So I thought, oh, I was a bit disappointed. And then, like last year, I then re-picked it up, and I was just like, nah, Spyro Into the Dragonfly feels really janky for some reason. So I thought, okay, maybe it's just my copy, you know, my experience from Digimon World 1. Got another copy of Spyro Into the Dragonfly, and that still played janky. I was like, what the fuck? Is it just Spyro the Dragonfly? That's just janky in general.
Yes, it is.
I really want to actually play it to completion just so I can just have it ticked off. I really, really want to, but it's just so hard to play because of just jankiness.
Well, on a Spyro note, that's why I made the noise, is I actually had a bit like your Digimon. My copy of Spyro Year of the Dragon is glitchy as well, or buggy. I don't know. Like, there were things where the characters would be like speaking and the actual sound wouldn't come through, would be delayed. I had bits where it would like struggle to load sections of the game. It always seemed to be in the first world as well. It was never the later worlds. It was only the first world, and it would only be the first time you went through it. So, and that was where I had the most problems about trying to get through it. It was, funny enough, it's my mum's friend's son's copy. I don't know why I have that copy of the game, but I don't know why I have his copy. I think he got older and was like, I don't want the Spyro game anymore. I'm too cool. I want to play this Star Wars game. So I got given it for free. But yeah, it's a bit buggy. But then the thing is, there's a lot of charm to those original Spyro games, especially the fact that they changed the voice of Hunter in Reignited. So I might replay the originals soon just to have that nostalgia of Hunter's voice.
I have still not played the Spyro Dragon games. I really must get around to them. I haven't got a New Year's resolution for this year, but if I have, it's to finally get around to playing those Sonic games.
We will talk
really
about
have to, it's very good.
New Year's resolutions at the end.
Yeah, no, mine will be short. Anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of bugs and glitches out there. Another one that springs to mind, quick and easy one, Mega Man 2. If you go to Airman stage, go up to Airman and retreat and jump towards the boss door, you can go back through the level and it's completely corrupt. It's completely broken. But it's quite easy to corrupt a lot of the old cartridge games. Because all you have to do is wiggle the cartridge a bit, and if the pin connectors aren't connected to the bottom of your cartridge, easy to break. Just wiggle them a bit, boom. Game's still playable. God knows what it will do to it, though. You can get a different glitch every time. It's almost like you've got infinite games.
Surprised you've not mentioned a certain game. Well, you've mentioned it before, but I'm not surprised you've not mentioned one of your favourite games.
Oh, well, which one? Which one of my favourite games do I pick from? I mean, I suppose I could talk about Resident Evil 4 for a bit.
I was thinking Sonic 06.
Oh, no, not that one. Actually, I didn't think about that at all. I know the Sonic Boom one where you have like the infinite jump and you can just skip like 75% of the game, which is the best way to play that game, is to skip it all.
Or just be like, what's it? Shadow the Hedgehog when you just on like you just fall through the world constantly.
Yeah.
That
See, I didn't really want to talk about clipping too much in this because clipping's so common. I mean, sometimes you just go for the world map, and there's quite a few games do that. And I suppose if there is like one glitch that's like the most common one, it is that just clipping through walls. And a lot of people rely on that to sort of like speed run and just break the game, snap it in half.
Speedrunners are just so clever when it comes to manipulating glitches.
Yeah, the one I was just going to mention for Resident Evil 4 is one called the Dipman glitch, where essentially you equip the striker shotgun and you go to aim, but before you even finish aiming, you just quit to the menu, like unequip it. And from that point on, Leon can like run at like 50% more extra speed, which essentially makes the game much, much easier to speedrun. Wow. If you get hit, it like knocks it out, it like resets it back to normal, but it confuses the crap out of the game. But gotta say, it's pretty funny to watch.
I was saying, because if we're talking about, glitchy game mechanics, watching speedrunners, like I have to give credit to like the Super Mario speedrunners because they've got some very unique things they can do. Like I think the most famous one is the backwards leaning jump, or the BLJ, where if you do like like if you're running and you make Mario go woohoo forwards, like bringing his feet and arms in front of him. Mm-hmm. But if you do that but aim backwards, what it can cause him to do is start stuttering really, really fast and basically just accelerate his velocity so he can break through the invisible walls. So like when you go up that staircase up to like the Rainbow Bowser, you can use the backwards leading jump, and you can basically just bypass that staircase, and it just basically just takes you straight up to him. It's like, wow.
Yeah, and the funniest thing about that is because Mario's essentially in like a sat down position, so he's just sliding up his arse straight up the stairs. That must hurt like hell, but it does it at like Mach 3. So
I know. Imagine the carpet burns from that.
No wonder he's out screaming all the time.
Yeah, like when he's on like the lava areas, that's what he's doing as he goes up.
Precisely, man.
You didn't. I just thought of another Pokemon like glitch.
How broken is Pokemon?
From Gold and Silver, the Pokemon cloning glitch. Where you when you swap.
Oh yes! Oh my god! How have I forgot about that?
Yeah, when you put a Pokemon in a box, you swap boxes, and then you turn your game off, and when you come back, you clone it.
Yes, I completely forgot about that. Oh my! Because I remember having an army of Entei just to try and just do stuff, or a army of Lugias. Oh mate, that's bringing like childhood back.
Yep. I remember someone had a clone of Typhlosions.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, my days.
Yep, there you go. Forgot about that glitch. I think I had there was all these, the GTA 4 swing glitch.
Oh, the GTA 4 swing. That's the thing is, that's one of those glitches where, yeah, it's a glitch, but it's not game breaking. It's just entertaining as fuck.
Oh, yeah. You'd be like, hey, there's a car. There it goes.
Nope, there we go. It's now a helicopter.
I remember when I used to play COD Zombies a lot in the 2010s. You had the glitches where you could get onto like into areas you couldn't, and get on services you couldn't. So there was I always remember the level 5 from Call of Duty Black Ops.
Oh yeah, on the desks.
Yeah, when you get on the tables, that was a good glitch.
What about on the first level of World at War in Nashta and Toten? When you can perk underneath the grenades.
I don't remember that one.
So what you could do, if you know where the grenades are in Nashta and Totem by the staircase,
mm-hmm.
If you do like a jump and dive, you can sort of embed yourself underneath the grenade sail box. And because obviously on World at War you had the flamethrower, which had infinite ammo, you could just sit there and just spray the flamethrower. What you could do, you could just keep buying grenades and then throwing it, and then the cost of the damage you get from the grenade, it's enough to basically refund your grenades. That was amazing.
I know there was a few where you could get out of bounds. I think I can't remember exactly which ones you could do it on, but there was a couple that you could do it. I think what's the fourth one? I forgot what it's called.
Arise.
Is it Arise?
Yeah, because you got Nashta and Toton, then you got Varrox, Shinonuma, and Arise.
Yeah, Derise, yeah, and I think Derise you could get out of bounds. I think there's probably that on like a whole load of them. I can't remember. It's been a while since I looked at the COD zombie glitches.
If we're speaking of the same era of glitches, though, we've already mentioned Bethesda, but how can we not talk about Bethesda and ignore Skyrim?
Oh god,
just Skyrim in general.
I mean, we mentioned clipping earlier. One of the best things to do in Skyrim is if in like every main city, there's like a merchant, of course, as you'd expect. But in order to like have the data in game, they occasionally game developers will put in like a physical, tangible thing to use as a sort of I don't want to say anchor, but sort of like but it's basically something to store data and like align everything else up, I guess. So it's kind of like an anchor point as a sort of point of reference.
Yeah.
But in Skyrim, what they use for that is some chests. And these chests contain all the items that the merchants have for that city. And if you are very particular about where you stand in some areas, say, for example, if you go to Dawnstar.
I was going to say Dawnstar gives you the Khajiit chest.
Yeah, that's probably the easiest one to get. And you may even stumble by that one by accident.
I think I did.
It's very close to like a dungeon entrance and the sort of place where you can do smithing. And essentially, if you just look at the ground at a very specific angle, you'll just get a prompt to say open chest, and you'll be like, what?
Yeah, that's what I was like. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, and boom, just treasure chest is absolutely chock full.
Yeah, because
the best part, the best part of it is because the merchant stocks like reset after so long, so do the chests. So you can just go back like every week, and everything will have reset.
Yep.
Except because the merchant stuff like change what they sell. What you can find in there is completely random as well. So you just open it up and it's like, oh right, there's like 8,000 gold here, a really good suit of armor, shit tons of emeralds and soul gems. So you never need to buy a damn thing.
Yeah, because like you just as soon as you start and do the Blue Falls Barrow quest, get to Whiterun Stables, go up to Dawnstar, and bosh, you're done. Just go there every week.
Yeah, in fact, you don't even have to go that far. You can get to Solitude. You don't even have to go in the main city. It's just outside it. There's a brick wall. You can just stare at the floor, and boom, there's one right there.
Literally, the only one I know about is Dawnstar and Whiterun. I've not come across the others.
Yeah.
But have you seen the video clips of when they, clip through the walls with the camera, and you can actually physically see the chests underground?
Yeah, for some of them you can, yeah. Other ones you just get the prompts, so you don't quite see them. But because there's like several of them, essentially, if you keep fast traveling enough to like each one in turn, normally by the time you get back to the first one, it's all reset again.
Yeah.
So you never have to look for anything if you don't want to.
Yeah.
In fact, if you're planning on speed running, it may be an option to go for these chests if you want. Although I think it might heavily depend on what you get. But hey, you can sort of see it as a randomizer one. There's an idea for a Skyrim challenge.
Complete Skyrim using only what you find in the chest in Dawnstar.
Exactly, yeah, because it's kind of like a randomizer, isn't it? It's like the first one you get to, like pick one of 7 ones you want, and that's your inventory for the entire game. There you go, listeners. There's an idea for you. There we are.
I'll say the other thing with Skyrim is it's physics engine.
Wow, that's just
so like if you get smacked by a giant, you go to a different planet, or if you put a bucket over someone's head, they can't see, so you can just literally just rob the house.
I laughed so hard, like the first time I bumped into a giant and just went flying up in the air.
They're literally the only enemy that does it to you, aren't they?
I thought it was like a game-breaking glitch, like the first time it happened to me, because I hadn't seen it happen to anyone else, but no, it happens to everyone. And it's something you can recreate time and time again.
Just every time, just without fail.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, you launch up in the air so high, so fast. I'm surprised you don't bump into Mario on his way there as well.
Mario Galaxy.
Yeah. Well, he's just speed running up the stairs, but he's doing it really fast.
if you jump over Skyrim.
Yeah. Well, they go so fast. If those two collide in midair, it causes a sonic
black
boom.
hole.
Huge. Exactly. I'll tell you what, it'll be a powerful enough force to take your face off, just like those in Assassin's Creed Unity.
Right, this is a genuine question. Like, why is it, when you get like these face glitches, not just in Assassin's Creed, but anything, it's always the teeth and the eyes that remain?
It's because they're generally used as like different animated assets, because like your teeth like move up and down, your eyes sort of like dart left and right, like in cutscenes and that. So they're usually animated as separate objects. Because the rest of the face, like the nose and the face, obviously with technology now, with like face mapping, it moves a bit more.
Yeah, it's all
obviously. Yeah. But normally, like your face and skin is just like a texture asset, whereas eyes and teeth move, so they sort of animate those separately.
Yeah, because like anytime, like if you've got like the like a rear view camera in a third person thing, and you clip it through any character's head, you just see their teeth and the back of their eyes.
Oh, you can do it anytime in Dark Souls when they're opening a door. You just rotate the camera right up to them. There you go. I was trying to think, like when it comes to like obviously Dark Souls, the biggest glitch that jumps out to me is like the menu stacking glitch.
What is this?
It's quite hard to pull off, but with it you can do things with items that you wouldn't necessarily be able to do, like have like unlimited casts of like consumable items and that kind of thing.
Oh wait,
Um,
I remember doing this in Dark Souls 1 because you could keep using the humanity over and over again, is it?
yeah,
No, you
essentially,
can keep
yeah.
using boss souls over and over again. If you go boss soul to an Estus, you can keep using the boss soul over and over again to get infinite souls.
Yeah, pretty much. You can
Yeah, I
duplicate
remember
your
that.
items with it.
Yeah,
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 I'd
I
say
remember
I'd
that.
say it's like menu stacking because like you press like a button to like go into options and then bring up your menu. And I can't remember how to exactly pull it off, but essentially you can like go back into the gameplay and the game still thinks you're in the menu.
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
I used to do that to get infinite souls in Dark Souls 1.
yeah, so even Dark Souls has got its own version of missing there, essentially.
Missing Estus.
Yeah, missing essence.
Just looking from my list, the other one that there is the in Sonic Adventure Battle 2, what you can do if you pick up the child key under certain conditions where you prevent it from becoming a physical thing on your UI, once you complete the level, it actually takes you to the test level for Sonic Adventure 2, which is like this grid, not grid, but like this just shape-based sandbox world, like just of triangles, squares, and cubes, and it's just a very peculiar looking space to be in. I think I've only ever done that once, and then I've seen it more and more on like YouTube. But it's just like it doesn't work in the Dreamcast version. Apparently, it only works in like the other ports of it. But that's just a really strange thing that there's just test levels just still within games. That's like, how do people find these? Speaking of which, one
Yeah.
thing which I found out is that this is quite a common occurrence. But if people stumble across a glitch, what they will sometimes do, they will then offer a glitch bounty. Do you know what this is?
I can't say I do. Please
So
enlighten me.
glitch bounty is when someone's discovered a glitch and they're just like, what the fuck? Like, what happened? What some people will then do is offer a cash reward to the person who can perfectly recreate said glitch and offer the mechanics of why that glitch happens.
Okay,
So
yeah,
apparently there's a glitch in Mario 64 where if you jump onto a surface where you can grab onto, and if it perfectly lines up with the surface above it, which you can also grab onto, it will bypass the one above you and take you to the one beyond that. So effectively, on the second Bowser level, you can skip half of the map by just going up 2 flights and like hang onto a ledge. So that a guy offered a $1,000 bounty to whoever can recreate this glitch, and no one's been able to do it yet. And all because it happened once and he recorded it, and he's just like, no one else can do it. Like, what the fuck happened?
I suppose you'd always want to go glitch hunting now, especially if you're a speedrunner, because if you can find a new way to break a game and snap it in half, and
That happened in Spyro Year of the Dragon. There was this one on the very last area, like by the Scorpion place. Apparently, you can do like a super jump by the Scorpion map, and it can take you to another. It just takes you to another area. And the person who discovered that managed to shave off enough time for him to actually get the record for Year of the Dragon. But I suppose like there are like certain like glitch mechanics which speedrunners will try on any new game to see if they can make it work. So like as soon as a new game comes out, they'll try figure out how can I click through a surface, or is there any sort of code which I can sort of manipulate to try and do it. Like in Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, for example, that for me, like, again on my version of the game, it would crash repeatedly and it would just make it a very sort of unfortunate experience. Same thing for like Spyro, it would just crash on like the loading menus. But what people have done on Forbidden Memories is they sort of worked out the code for the likelihoods of certain events happening, and they will know like a sequence of controls which they could add or use to make the code match and give them the outcome that they want. So say for example, if they press a certain string of buttons, it will then reward them with the card that they need for the next turn. I was like, that's fucking crazy how people can find that out.
Oh, that's nuts. Well, there's the other kind of glitches as well, like ones where the games aren't necessarily broken but feel more like Easter eggs. And the one that jumps to mind for me, or at least the one that my brain has suddenly remembered exists, is Ocarina of Time. Ganondorf, he may be weak to the Master Sword, but he's also weak to bottles and the bug net as well.
What?
So in the Ganondorf fight in Legend of Ocarina of Time, and also quite a few other games as well, there's always a point in the fight, or at least nearly always a bit, where he fires like an energy ball at you, and you sort of have to whack it back in a sort of game of tennis.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
in Ocarina of Time, the game is kind of checking that you're doing like a certain motion, in which case it would be like a sort of sideways strike as you would do with the sword. But it doesn't really matter what you've got equipped. If you've got the bug net or a bottle equipped, you use that same swinging motion, so it still reflects it back at him. So if you want to beat Ganondorf with nothing but a bottle, have at it.
Oh wow!
It's just one of those cool little Easter eggs. It's like, yeah, I couldn't be able to get the Master Sword. Come on, Ganon, you, me, bit of glass, let's go.
You're getting in my bottle.
Yeah, it's just one of those cool little Easter eggs that people say, did you know you can beat him with just a bottle? It's like, no. It's like, well, now I've got to try it now, haven't I? You can't find out something like that and not want to try it.
You've also got the
Again,
super slide glitch in Ocarina of Time where you roll into a bomb and then it slides you away.
Oh, yeah, that's a bit like the Mario 64 one, isn't it? In principle, yeah.
The what you're saying about the bottles, I think I watched a whole load of Ocarina of Time videos early in 2022, and that I remember seeing something like that. I think I saw something. Yeah, I don't know if I saw the bottles. I think the guy who was doing the video was like, "Oh, you can do it with all these different items." I can't remember what stuff he put on, but there's a whole load of different ways you could do it.
Well, I do have one more example of a glitch. Although I hesitate to call it a glitch because of what it is, but I think it's the mother of all glitches. So before I go on to it, have you guys got any more that you want to raise?
No.
I'm trying to think if there's any in particular, but most of them is just physics mechanics or
Just
stuff which has just happened in general.
Ubisoft games just being Ubisoft.
Yeah, oh Christ. Even like the Focus Interactive games are janky as hell, like Vampire and whatnot. Although I'd say that adds to the charm of the Focus games, because they're going to be a bit janky, but they're still good games.
Well, like Deadly Premonition.
Yeah. Well, that's like by design, though, isn't it?
Anything with a ragdoll effect on dead bodies.
Oh Christ! Yeah, anything from like the early Xbox era when like late PS2 when ragdoll was first invented.
Dark Souls.
And they go completely OTT. Dark Souls.
I've had like enemies like halfway through my body, just going around for ages.
Just take the Capra Demon for a walk.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Dead Space is really bad for that. It's so much worse in Dead Space because obviously it's meant to build up all this tension and horror and put you on edge, and then you just have like this corpse just like floating through your torso. It's like, yeah, it's like this half an enemy just like vibrating like fuck on some stairs. Kind of takes the tension out of it,
So go on, Chris.
All right. So, as I say, I think this. I don't know. I didn't know if this one counts, but I don't know when the hell I'm going to talk about it. So, you boys remember the Dreamcast, right?
Yes.
Not particularly, but carry on.
Well, of course you do. Well, you know how it didn't sell very well, and it's like Sega's last console.
Yes.
Well, there's many reasons why it is, but here's one that honestly went the opposite way and kind of did it a favor and like gave it a little bit more shelf life. So this is a sort of glitch that sort of transcends the game and actually helped sales with the Dreamcast. It's kind of a weird one because it's not in an actual game. So story goes back into there. You remember when you had these things called like printed media, like called magazines, and they had like CDs on the cover?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe I'm understanding my age there. Well, there was one called DC UK, which was at the time one of the Dreamcast magazines, and on it you had this thing called a demo disc. Now, younger viewers probably won't know what a demo disc is, but you've got all your downloads in there. God, does it sound any more condescending? No, essentially, this demo disc that came on it had what was it called? Essentially, like an action replay program on it. So if you know, like Game Genie, how you can like put in a code and poof, you can start doing cheats on games. Now, unbeknownst to the people who put out this demo disc, some codes on this allowed it to override certain data within the Dreamcast software, and essentially what it did was jailbreak it.
Oh.
So when people cottoned onto this, they realized they could like override like geographical restrictions and essentially pirate the fuck out of all the Dreamcast games. Because I realised, hang on, I'll just get a Dreamcast, type in this code, and then it essentially puts the Dreamcast into like a sort of blank state, and you can put pretty much anything into it and it will play. So piracy run rampant for the Dreamcast, which I suppose is a nail in the coffin for all the software developers. But at the same time, it also made the Dreamcast sales go up because people thought, well, hang on. Why get myself like a PS2 when I can get a Dreamcast which can play pretty much anything from the get-go? Like, I can play like foreign games, and you would, wouldn't you? It's like, well, why restricted to European stuff when I can play stuff from Japan? As long as I can just get one of these, get my hands on a demo disc, shove that in, and Bob's your uncle. You can play like the entire library of games. I say that's why I hesitate to call it a glitch, because I suppose technically it's not, but it does fuck up the system software. So I suppose it counts. But hey, that's a hell of a thing. Not many glitches do that much damage.
Well, while you've been speaking of that, I've literally just remembered one other glitch, which for me actually breaks it because it does sort of make the game a not as pleasant experience. And obviously, we all know how much of a fan of Subnautica I am. I'm a huge fanboy when it comes to Subnautica games. But the one glitch which hurt me the most is when you go through the game, you can get the modification station which lets you upgrade your items. So you can upgrade your fins to make them charge fins so they can charge up your batteries when you swim. Or you can, upgrade your knife to a thermoblade so it automatically cooks food when you use it. But here's where the problem goes. When you get the thermoblade and you use it to cut things and starts cooking. So because it's a thermoblade, the actual animation of the thermoblade will have this sort of boiling mechanic around it. So your knife will be glowing red and there'll be like bubbles coming off the side of it, and you can sort of like that sort of steamy, misty appearance to it. But sometimes if you use the thermoblade, and then just go about doing your day-to-day thing, if you then change, so you're holding the thermoblade and change it to something like your Sea Glide or anything else, even though the item's put away, you will still have that bubbly, steamy effect in the dead center of your camera, and it's just like there, and it only goes away when you get your thermoblade back out. It sort of subdues it a little bit, but then as soon as you put your thermoblade away, all of a sudden it's just back again, and it's just permanently there, and it just won't go away, and I have no idea how to fix it. And it gets really, really annoying to the point where the only way which I can think to stop it from happening is to just completely get rid of your thermoblade and then just go back to a normal knife, because it just makes it just so uncomfortable just seeing this thermoblade fizzling thing dead center of your screen for the whole duration that you've got it in your inventory. So yeah,
there's nothing worse than the game breaking glitches.
No,
for the most part, glitches are fine.
Yeah.
I suppose like probably one of the more infamous ones, and this goes way back to like the original Pac-Man. You cannot get past like level 255, because after that you'll just get this sort of complete corruption, because again, just like the Pokemon one, the data won't go higher than 255 and the game doesn't know what to do, so it just shits itself.
It's so sad.
It really is. Oh well, that's a lot of glitches. So folks at home, what are some of your favorite glitches? Maybe we've got some that we didn't even talk about, like, I don't know, the Minus World from Super Mario Brothers, or perhaps something else.
Yeah, there might be some glitches where you've purposely experienced that I've not really publicly know about, maybe because you've got like a janky copy of a game.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you could say like this happened and people just won't believe you. And it's like, well,
but
it's just like that.
But like if it's like a Bethesda game, we'll more likely believe you.
Oh yeah. I'd be amazed if you said you got through the entire game with no glitches. Like, bullshit, you did.
I played Skyrim the other day and my horse did a backflip for just no reason.
if you ain't playing Skyrim and you're riding a horse and it's not going completely vertically up a mountain with no frames of animation, you're just not playing Skyrim properly.
The elevator horse.
Yeah, I've had that one.
You got any more, Dan?
Not really, no. Just been listening to you two. I knew I wouldn't have as much bugs and glitches to talk about. I knew you two would have a lot more than me.
I know the moment.
For some reason, I'm just exposed to them.
I just forget them.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like the moment like we stop hitting record, I'll think of like another several more. Here's another one. I can't believe I haven't mentioned, because it's a Doom one, and this one's quite infamous and, well, or famous, I suppose. It's the one where you got John Romero's head on the spike in Doom 2, behind the icon of sin, behind the final boss, which is kind of canon, and you can interact with it. It is a glitch because you do like collision, you pass a collision detection to go past the final boss, but you can interact with it and you can shoot it. Like, he is there. I'm sure
So it's a physical entity.
Yeah, it's a physical thing you can interact with.
Then, isn't it?
I suppose, but it is a glitch.
Because just like, have you seen the one? I don't know if it's Doom or if it's another game, but it's just like you can go past a certain bound, and then the character, one of the guys who did the programming for that mapping, put up a fake wall saying, "I suck at map design." On a green screen. I don't know what map it is, but it just got to a point where the map designer just didn't know what to do, so it's just like, yeah, I suck at map design.
Is it Grand Theft Auto Vice City as well, where there's like a room you can go into that you're not supposed to get into, yet there's a message on the wall saying this is an Easter egg?
It It wouldn't surprise me. Like
Yeah.
Halo's
I think
full of
it
them.
is. Or it's like a building, and it's like, yeah, that is a thing in GTA 3. I don't know what it is though, but it is a thing in that game.
Yeah, it's like a hidden message
Yeah.
thing. Like, oh, you weren't supposed to get in here.
Yeah, you weren't supposed to.
Something
get
along
here.
those lines.
Yeah. Well, I guess there's many bugs and glitches that we can mention.
Yeah.
That
I
is-
suppose if you want to go one step further, future episode, cheat codes.
Oh, cheat codes. Oh boy.
Oh, there you go. Well,
Is it right? Speaking of which, is it still bad that I remember the one from the PS2, Ratchet and Clank?
No, because I still remember the one from the PS1 Alien trilogy.
I'll say because I just remember it because of like Quark going up, up, down, down, left, right, circle, square, X. It's just stuck in my head. I was like, or even like all the ones from like GTA. I just remember.
Alien trilogy, mate. The code, I got pink acid boots on.
Oh, dude. Oh man. I'm going to stop talking about it because obviously we want to save it for the episode.
and I really need a wee, so
Well, Dan needs a wee, everyone, so that's the end of the episode. Thank you very much for listening.
no, not just yet. No, I'm not that desperate. You know why? You know how it is. You can follow our social media, like always: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Follow us on Anchor. Listen to us on Spotify, Audible, whatever else you get your podcasts. Welcome to our first podcast of 2023, and there will be many, many, many more.
You lucky people.
So, what do we say, Brandon?
Stay safe and don't break the Matrix.
What do we say, Chris?
Titty biscuits.
That's what I was wanting. And I'm just going to say, rock on. I don't know.
Rule 34 Pokemon, it's a dangerous
Oh,
place.
Brandon!